Hope everybody can see my screen okay. Looks like everybody can see the screen okay. Yeah, I'm gonna play a little bit of this video here. And I'm gonna be emphasizing more as to these so-called minority groups not showing up in solidarity with us when it comes to fighting for the Civil Rights Act of 1866. Yvette Carnell is going to once again break down what this Civil Rights Act of 1866 entails, especially in regards to Section 1981. Here's the video. Let's take a listen.
Federal law to define citizenship and affirm that all citizens are equally protected by the law. It was mainly intended in the wake of the American Civil War to protect the civil rights of persons of African descent or born in the United States. This legislation was passed by Congress in 1865 and vetoed by President Andrew Johnson. In April 1866, Congress again passed the bill. Let's talk about a little bit what it said. Just a little, like, what does Otis call it? Recurring training? Yeah, let's just a little bit of that. That's all. An act to protect all persons in the United States in their civil rights and furnish the means of their vindication. The act declared that all persons born in the United States who are not subject to any foreign power, are entitled to be citizens without regard of race, color, or previous condition of slavery or involuntary servitude. Just so we're clear what we're talking about, because there was a lot of Negro babble and a lot of Negro splaining, a lot of people trying to play attorney. So let's just be very clear about what we're talking about and what was at stake. We have to do that. It's necessary because some people don't know. Wonderful to see the shirts. I don't just work through Teespring or anybody. These are shirts I packed up in my house. So this is wonderful to see these shirts on display, everybody doing that thing. And we are an agenda, what are we, people? An agenda-driven group, right? So this is civil rights. So this was enacted for us, even though it covers a bunch of people who were not there. That was very interesting, because it's very interesting who we saw. It's very interesting who we saw and who we didn't see. We were there for self-interest and to protect our rights, but it's very interesting who we saw and who we didn't see. Now, I saw a lot of, let me just go to a quick little clip. Let me just go to a clip really quick, because I saw a lot of people there, but there are a lot of people that I didn't see, and I wonder why I didn't see them. There are a lot of people who would benefit from this, and I didn't see them, so I'm trying to figure some stuff out. I'm just trying to figure some stuff out, that's all. So hold on one second, let me bring this up. Because there was a lot of stuff I don't understand. So this is a little bit of y'all doing your thing, expressing all the rights and all the stuff like that. Let me bring up my stuff. So proud of y'all, and y'all are beautiful, and we should be proud of each other. We don't take enough time as black people loving on each other. Like, we don't take enough as ADOS just loving on each other. So, you know. ADOS was doing. Now, I don't know what everybody else was doing. There was a lot of talking, but I don't know what a lot of people were doing. Here's where ADOS was today. We were there, like we all gonna be different places. We're gonna be moving around, right? But this is what we were doing. I don't know where the DACA people were just there yesterday, weren't they? They could have just stayed another day. They could have just spent the night and said, we're in solidarity because we're going to benefit from this because it's for civil rights and we're going to wedge ourselves in there because even though it was intended for you, it has a broad meaning. So we're going to wedge ourselves in there. So they could have been there, right? They could have been there and helped us out. They packed up their stuff after the stuff and left. Notice that you don't see nobody in this group. You see a whole bunch of ADOS. That's who you see in here. ADOS all day. But I thought we had solidarity though. Everybody told me that we was all in it together. And we was all a brown family. I didn't even see white women there. White women, you gonna try to use some stuff to wedge in and you.
So much for the so-called black and brown coalition. What a joke that is. Moving on.
Law for your civil rights, but I didn't see you there. I didn't see the LGBT community there, since that's supposed to be the new minority. I didn't see you there either. What was everybody else there? I just saw ADOS there. I tell you what else I didn't see there. I saw a lot of ADOS posters and placards and shirts and hats. I didn't see no foundational Black American hats and shirts. What was y'all at? Y'all was at home tweeting about how y'all was mad? And how y'all was upset and this wasn't gonna do nothing no way because Flex told me so? That's very interesting. It's all very interesting. It's very interesting who didn't show up for us.
Well, and the people who didn't show up for us indicates to us as ADOS that we have no friends. And that's what Professor Black Truth and the Black Authority try to tell us as ADOS, that we don't have any friends out here. So yeah, so you would think that we have allies in this fight. You know what I'm saying? Even though other minority groups, I think, would have benefited more by showing up to this thing more than we have. See, you can't pass legislation just for Black people. This is just not how any of this works. Kamala Harris even said it herself. You can't just pass legislation just for Black people. Why do you think she is sinking down in the polls? I'm going to tell you why. It's because of us ADOS. We don't think she's a candidate that will represent us as ADOS. And the more they keep ignoring us, the more louder our voices are. And we ended up shutting down Kamala Harris's campaign to where sooner or later she's going to end up dropping out anyway. I mean, her funds is really starting to dry up now. Same goes for Cory Booker. But more so Kamala Harris, because she was outspoken as saying that we can't pass legislation just for Black people. She said that herself in an interview. And I'm sure some of y'all seen it all over Twitter and other social media platforms, but especially Twitter. So these other so-called minority groups, they had never been in solidarity with us from the get-go. And there was a Mexican who said something that was very interesting. Let me see if I could pull this up here for y'all. bear with me here, folks. I probably should have pulled this up when I was before I came live. I can't remember the exact name of the person who came up with that. It's probably online somewhere. Sometimes Google really don't help as much when it comes to certain things anyway. Yeah. Let's see. But the Mexican quote, if I remember exactly, says something about they don't really care about being in solidarity with black people. It's from this Mexican guy. So, and like I said, you see some of these stuff over here, the failed promise of black brown solidarity. I don't know if there was any promise of a black brown solidarity, but here's a book on it though. Interested, isn't it? This is an interesting post right here. It might be I don't know if this quote from the Mexican guy is on here. Probably not. Let me see here. But I do agree with this. From what I see, black people are more loyal to Latinos than Latinos are to black people. If you disagree with Latinos, other black people will call you a Trump supporter. I agree with that. Yep, that sounds just about right. A lot of self-hatred going on. A lot of interesting stuff going on here. Yeah, this is a video from Paris Milan. Let me see what she says.
area, like going on Wall Street and all these other streets. I'm not from LA, I'm from North California. Why is it like all the black people are homeless in these effing tents? But like if you go to where Pico is and Santee Alley and all that, people from Mexico, like I've asked some of them, they're not even legal. And they're getting all this business and they're not even legal citizens. Look at the black people just on the streets in these tents. I want to show you guys this real fast.
That's a goddamn shame. So much for the Black and Brown Coalition.
Y'all make it to where you'll lock them up for doing the same thing the Mexicans is out there doing, selling clothes, selling knockoff, counterfeit makeup and all types of crap, fruit for $5 a pop. But black people out here and y'all, oh, well, these little girls are selling water. I need them to have a permit. It's this. It's just all black people out here. Sorry for the wind. But just look. Just black sitting in the park, homeless. They got tents every freaking where. And all this is black people in these tents. So this is Gladys Avenue here.
Amazing. Huh.
And this does look like Skid Row, but even Skid Row, like, or this is Skid Row? I can see Skid Row on the map. I didn't even know it was. But even the Tenderloins in San Francisco don't even look this bad.
Hell
no. All
no.
these effing tents, at least they have, like, homeless shelters. I know they get filled up really fast, but they don't have all this there.
Amazing.
A lot of them are mentally ill. And it's like you guys don't have no facilities or institutions that you could have them committed to.
This is absolutely ridiculous. This is what happens when you live in a racist country.
Just look how filthy this is. When you go to Santee Alley, I'm going to show you guys how they're over there setting up shop and y'all don't say nothing about it.
Mm-hmm. Sure are. They should look clean too. Oh, they set up all types of shop, I bet. I believe it.
Hi, how much are the Juvia's Place pallets? Oh, yeah, that's the guy. How much are the Juvia's Place pallet? Which one is it? This one, I guess. The Juvia's. No one is done? Okay, muchas gracias. Okay, thank you.
Well, they sell everything for cheap. Uh-huh.
Black owned. If I fall off the sidewalk, it's over.
Wow. Counterfeit Louis Vuitton. Wow. Did it slap the label on it? Probably ain't even worth nothing. Very slick. But yet our people are homeless on the fucking streets.
You guys are actually going to come to the Santee Alley. Make sure you go to Urban Rarity. They're black owned. I don't know if you guys heard that part. They're black owned. And they have some outfits and stuff here that you can actually get custom made. Don't come here asking for no discounts. I especially like the crop tops and skirt combos that they got. Look at that. How could you not like that? See these pants? Okay. For those of you who asked, I live in the Bay Area. A lot of you guys, I guess y'all didn't know that. As a child, I remember going to LA, you know, Disneyland and stuff like that. But like being here as an adult is like a far fetch from being in LA as a child, because you're more aware of like your environment. And especially
That's right.
like I obviously have a social awareness channel, and so I'm more heightened to situations like this that I observe today more than the average person, I believe. You guys have supported me in doing this, especially like my sponsors. Thank you so much to Car Marshall. Over 100,000 cars in inventory while you shop, they will negotiate for you. Also, thank you to ashkicking.com. They have all your personal hygiene related needs. Please go and support straightblacklove.com if you are trying to find other black singles in your area. They will hook you up. And also go to Soulfully Center. They are a black owned hair care line. They have an online store for you to go and purchase some affordable, potent hair care products. And they also have a store that I'll be showing you the picture of with the address. So anyways, I'm in LA, and as we were driving to this restaurant, on our way there, we were on a street, I think it's called Wall Street, and I think the cross street was like 5th Street. And then I'm looking to the left, and I'm like noticing all these different tents, and I'm seeing the tents, they're just everywhere. And I'm like, well, it's not raining. I know it's kind of cold today, but it's not raining. What the freak is going on with all these tents? So I start looking a little bit closer at the tents, and I'm noticing that a lot of the occupants of the tents were black people. A lot of the people walking around in this area, which looked very, very run down, you could tell it's a very impoverished area, and a lot of the dwellers and the people hanging out and kind of just looking listlessly are the black people. So I start filming because I'm just in like disbelief. So in Northern California, we have our tenderloins, and even in the tenderloins, you don't see tent after tent after tent after tent completely stacked up, just row after row, just tents everywhere. Of course, you have the trash and stuff like that, but it's a diverse group of races in the tenderloins that you see that are strung out on the drugs or whatever. But in this particular area, it's nothing but black people just up and down the street. When you go a couple of blocks over, there is a area that they call the Fashion District. Other people call it the Santee Alley. They call it the alleys, whatever you want to call it. And it's flooded with self-identified Mexicans. Now, the reason why I say that, because some of y'all are going to be in the comment section like, oh, Mexican is not a race. I've said that plenty of times. But when you ask these people, like, where are you? What are you from? What do you consider yourself? They call themselves Mexicans. Now, these are mestizos, the Aztec, the Latinos, whatever you want to call them. They have shop set up completely cover up the block. They've monopolized the entire market down there in that underground commerce is what I like to call it. It's like this underground shopping area that has counterfeit purses. They have jeans, clothing, jewelry, any item that you could ever want. Even fruit is effing discounted, okay? Like they get you some watermelon, pineapple, chop it up, $5 a pop. Everything there is like completely discounted. And this is the problem that I have with it, is a lot of these people are not legally here. They're not legal citizens of the United States. Now, some of you guys in the black community have been brainwashed into believing that we have to be on the front lines defending illegal immigrants, aliens. We have to be the ones that support them in their fight to get legal documentation, and they get separated at the borders with their kids. Black people, I'm here to tell you, that is not your fight. And let me explain to you why that's not your fight. Like I told you guys before, in those streets that are a couple blocks over from Santee Alley, where it's flooded with the Hispanicals and the Latinas, or whatever you want to call them, these aren't black Latinos and Hispanics. Those are the ones that are over there making thousands of dollars hand over fist, and they're not reaching out to the black homeless people over there, trying to give them a place to stay, trying to give them a little underhand job where they could sweep or they can just hold up signs or whatever. They're not employing any of them. So that tells me that when you hear Trump talking about building the wall, that is not the black fight. That is for them to deal with. The attitudes that they have with some of us as black people is disgusting. Like, you would think that they're honorary white supremacists. Some of them are cool. Okay, I'll give them some of that. But ultimately, when the time comes for them to unify, they unify with one another. And something that I think black people need to pay attention to is that they're on a united front with each other, that they practice nepotism well. Black people have still not gotten on the bandwagon of using effective nepotism. What do I mean by that? In the 90s, okay, there were a lot of black people working jobs like McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell. And if you guys saw my live, I'm kind of repeating some of the same things, but if you didn't see it, like, this is new for you. Those jobs were reserved for people that were in high school, those who didn't have a higher quality college education, those who could not get their feet in the door because they don't have the finances to go off to college and they don't want to go in debt or whatever. Those minimum wage paying jobs were reserved for black people. All of a sudden, the Hispanics started coming into those jobs, overhauling. They would put them in the managerial positions, and they would get their family members and their friends and completely get rid of all the black people on the jobs, and they would employ their own. Then you go to these jobs, and they have all these effed up attitudes and are disrespectful, and then you also start noticing that a lot of them can't even speak English. So my thing is that on one hand, you can just look at them like, wow, like, here you guys are helping yourselves out, but when the time comes, you guys want black people to come and give you a hand up with your political work, with your political agendas, but when the time comes for them to help black people or them to talk about black issues, they're silent because it's not their fight. So all I say is that you should not be out here concerned about what Trump is doing to them. Am I saying that I support Trump and what he does? No, but if he's talking about building that wall, I'm not getting out there holding a sign. I'm not going to support them. I'm not doing any of that. That is not my obligation to help these people. You would never be able to go to another country demanding rights, making all this money that they make, just like in the Santee Alley. A lot of them do not have business permits. A lot of them do not have certifications. They have family members that have the business permits that are legal, and their family members are getting them these jobs for them to be the face of the business. They're selling jeans, all this counterfeit makeup, all of these freaking items, and they're making thousands. The worst part is that when I go out there to see the black-owned makeup lines, such as Juvia's Place, being out there at the freaking alley, and Juvia's Place on her site, some of the palettes go for like $20. It could be less, it could be more. I'll show you guys a picture. If they're selling Louis Vuitton, MAC, or whatever, they can go out there, and Louis Vuitton needs to go and fight for that. But specifically for Juvia's Place, I went to a counter that was selling Juvia's Place, and I just asked, I was like, hey, how much is this? And he was like, it's $5. I was so effing irritated. I'm sure she spent so much money, energy, effort. She needed support, and she had to believe in herself. And the moment that she started to accrue enough money, and she built this big brand that people love worldwide, and to know that these people are out here selling replicas of it, or actually getting those pellets at wholesale and selling them for $5 when you sell them for 20 plus, that to me is just disrespectful. And again, this just speaks volumes about how they are for self. Black people need to do the same thing and be for self. We are never thinking about one another's initiatives that need to be started. There is no black and brown coalition. Brown uses you when it's convenient for them, and they don't come back and invest in your own community. It's not their obligation to, but you somehow still feel as though you are obligated to help them when they don't need your help. Ask the guy out there, like, hey, how did you get a business out here or whatever? He was selling little purses. He was was like, I started selling batteries at just $1 a pack. I ended up making $5,000 off selling those batteries. Then I started getting the counterfeit purses because I have a plug that ships them to me, and I have all different type of replica brands. I got Louis Vuitton, I got MCM, I got Supreme, I got all this stuff, and I'm like, wow. But then you go over and you see how many black people are homeless, how many black people are not able to just go and sell water bottles for $1 without the police rolling up on them, or you see them selling t-shirts or whatever, cigarettes, whatever they're trying to sell. You can guarantee there's going to be a nosy racist person that's going to call the police on them, begging them to show some sort of permit that they have to sell these products. But when you're on Santiago, you see police driving by, you don't see ICE being called. They are complicit with this. They probably boost up the local economy, which is why they allow this. But with black people, we could very much so be helping the economy. And because they don't want blacks to get ahead, they don't want us to be progressive, they're going to stop it at all attempts, which is why it's hard to be mad at these black people and say, oh, well, they're just not trying hard enough. Every single time we have tried to create our own economies, look at what happened with Black Wall Street. They burned it down, they shut it down, they bombed it, unless those people were willing to conform to white societal standards. And because they're not, they have to do whatever it takes to ensure that they decimate any of our attempts. And then you also have to look at who else is helping these illegal immigrants to be able to get trades and come over here and make all this money. I mean, look at Tippi Hedren. She brought her manicurist, and the manicurist showed wives of Vietnamese soldiers how to be able to do nails, how to be able to do pedicures. And these women were able to get enough money together, and they just completely undercut the beauty industry, and they started monopolizing the industry. To this day, it's like you rarely see black-owned nail care stores and black-owned beauty supply stores. So this isn't just a Hispanic-only issue. This really is just about the mindset that goes along with the government, how they're complicit with helping other races, which they label as minorities. They're always telling us, yeah, black people, call yourself minorities. When the time comes and they have that totem pole in which they identify as minorities, we're always on the bottom. And that's why you see on this Wall Street and Gladys Street and whatever other streets they are, the black homeless population is freaking rampant, and nobody is out there trying to solve it. They could create more institutions where they're not trying to just...
Everything she's saying is right on point. This is why ADOS is created. Just looking at this video right here. This is why ADOS is created. We know, we've been saying this. Yvette Carnell, Antonio Moore, they have been saying this. They have been telling us this. You know what I'm saying? And people make it look like we got a problem. We got a personal beef with immigrants. What she said is that the U.S. government is complicit in allowing these goddamn immigrants, whether they legal or illegal, to set up shop here. You know what I'm saying? To erase us as a unique people. They erase us out of wealth, and hopefully that our population would drop so low that we will go extinct. This is how they're trying to get us to go extinct. Everything they had tried hasn't worked. But the only thing it has done is this: it has locked us out of generational wealth. That's the only thing that they have done. Their next step is to have us go extinct. That's their plan. They're not going to tell you that explicitly, but that's their plan. And I think as black people, we need to start being cognizant of this. And to know that there's no black and brown coalition, like Paris Milan says in this video. That's why it's so good to do motherfucking research. It's good to be browsing in these search engines, because you never know what you're going to find. You never know what you're going to find. Yeah, this is a great video right here. Damn. Shit, this is a great ass video right here. And if you think it's just California, I could bridge to sell you on that one. I have to share this to let me share this to my ADOS family real quick. Some of them probably may have seen this video already. One second, y'all. Definitely got to share this. It's not just the video, but yeah, this whole link. But yeah, but this is classic as to how we're being hated on and how we're being shitted on. Even though the original intent was to find that quote by this Mexican guy, I don't think I'm gonna find it though. You would think it would have showed up already, but this is Google, so Google's not gonna always show everything. I got another search engine called DuckDuckGo. See if I can get something different if I put the same info in. Yeah, this is gonna be hard to find. But yeah, that video explains my point absolutely. Let me see what this one says. This article here. You know, mainstream media. This is it's always a front with mainstream media. Mm. even though they even though this one kind of explains the truth, especially this section, saying that the biggest barrier to the black and brown coalition is the specter of undocumented immigrants taking jobs from black people. While institutional black leadership remains aligned with Latino immigrant advocacy groups, protests from grassroots African American organizations are getting louder. Voice of the Ex-Offender Vote, an activist group calling for community development in poor black neighborhoods, stridently opposes any black-brown alliance. Vote argues not only that Latinos take jobs for low-income African Americans, but that they skim off lucrative city contracts at black expense. The first claim is discredited by the relatively low black jobless rate in cities with large immigrant populations. The second is better explained as a strenuous effort to give Latinos access to city contracts for which they were once excluded. So as you may see, this is not just a LA thing or a California thing, but this is going on nationwide. And none of the candidates are not going to mention anything about it. They're more focused on bringing these brown immigrants into the political fold, rather than being concerned for the black Americans whose families have been here for hundreds of thousands of years. Yeah. Let's see here. So these so-called other minorities, which comes to the point of why these other so-called minority groups did not show up at the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. in the case involving Comcast and Byron Allen. So that's all I really want to say on this video. Feel free to like, subscribe, and share this video around. And I'll be hitting y'all up on the next video. Peace.